Alright, so RimWorld. Let's start a game. Yeah, crash landed. Now I like to do this generally. Um, Edit mode. This is a bit much, and I'm gonna add a part. Also, first I like to get rid of forced health condition, cryo sleep sickness, because why do I want to get my guys who are already doing a fucked up adventure to anyway? So I get rid of that, and then I add part that disable incident. Okay, and then we go down here, and we go to the incident, and we change it to Wanderer. Wanderer joins. Alright, because this is just some random motherfucker gets to join your colony just like that. Walks right in, says, hello, I'm on your team. So I get rid of that. Sure. Okay, I didn't know we could do this. I wonder if I've already done that. Anyway, personally, I like Randy Random, and I'm not a total psychopath, so I don't go these crazy modes, reload anytime. I like to put this to 50%. I don't care about that. And I always make sure there's 2 syllables in the seed name. So this is going to generate a map, and the reason I'm on 50% is just because it's more to choose from. More of the map. Otherwise, like, most of the map is like gone. Alright, so that's 50%. So if you have 25%, and why does it matter how big it is? Because you need to find some place to settle. Now, personally, I like to look for the purple dudes and the yellow dudes, and where there's a purple and yellow combination, because yellow is not unhappy with us, and purple's not unhappy with us. And if we can get it so that we have a place like somewhere nearby here. Now I like temperate forest. So the key that I like to look for is the transit time from one place to another. So we can use this thing, and let's say we just pick a spot. Like, let's say this is decent. It's temperate forest. It actually might not be terrible. Like, I like small hills, but you can go large hills, and this is actually on a little river, I think. Creek. This is amazing. And then so I'm gonna settle here, and the reason I did this, got this little icon here, is because you can do this. Say that's my start. How long is that? That's 1 day. That's a half a day, because we have the road. We're right on the road. So that's good, because what we could do later, imagine that you want to get money, right? So what you could do is like slaughter all the fucking buffalo and your shit, and you take all the meat that you got from it with a couple like alpaca or buffalo that you have tamed at some point, and then you walk it over here and you sell it to this guy for like fucking guns, and now you dudes have like good guns. That's how you get good guns. You sell them shit. Even the buffalo hide, you can make good shit with it, but you could also sell it for guns, right? Or not even just guns, like really cool shit, like some thing that makes your guy the best, like gain 2 or 3 levels of doctoring, some good shit, or like something that can, a resurrection serum. So like money, yeah, money. Silver is money in this stupid game. So we're gonna settle here. This is a good spot. I didn't look at the terrain. I normally like to get marble and granite, but is this still on the creek? Yeah, limestone and slate. I would usually like to get marble at least, but fuck it, this is a good spot. Alright, ideology system. We're just gonna not go with that because that just starts to make my brain hurt. So the first thing, there's 2 ways that I can go with this, right? I look for the guys who have problems with stuff that's important, or who have like really fucked up situations here, and I move them out. These guys aren't that bad. This guy can't do hauling and shit, so he goes. Look at this dude. He can't do healing or animals. I mean, whatever. It's not going to kill us. This guy can't do so many things that he's probably just useless. but he's not fully useless last. Unless he's like... So he's a brawler with melee skill. So this is the kind of guy that you might want to keep just for like balance. He's a dude who can like block for everybody, but you have to look at his other skills. And a cook, and some animal taming, and intellectual. So all this shit really doesn't matter, because we're gonna have a dude for social, we're gonna have a dude for medical, we're gonna have a dude for plants and mining. Well, in theory. So this guy, for me, goes to the top of the list, because he is really focused, and good focus in some good places. Also, steadfast is really good. Brawler, good. And kind is good. Alright, so probably a definite keep. So we're going to keep looking through all the shit and see. This guy goes away. Well, I don't know. Construction is good. So who else is here? This guy is mining and construction. A very neurotic. Chemical fascination, careful shooter, caring social. Possibly, because it takes away two really important things. Now I would need a guy to do plants, medical, and social. One dude has to do... Yeah, so I don't think we can keep... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to pick from this assortment. Maybe. So let's see, who do we have? This guy, I think is a keeper. This guy is maybe... Maybe not. Animals. He's got a little animals. So this guy is... He can't even do medical. We can't have somebody who can't... Another guy who can't do medical, or else everybody will just die. This guy just... There's nobody who does medical in this crew, except for this dude. This guy can't haul. Oh wait, he still doesn't do medical. Absolutely no, not one person does medical. Alright, so let's say we figure these two are good. And this guy is not terrible with plants. He does some crafting. But what don't we have? Don't have medical. Hey, this guy is a 4. Alright, so I think this is good. Now I normally have like an editor, but I guess my mods aren't working or not, and what I would ordinarily do is whack this Psychite Addiction, because I don't know if we can take this guy now. I think we can't take this guy because of this shit, and I can't get rid of it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll for medical. Alright, medical and plants. Alright, so that means we pretty much have everything, so that's good. Alright, so we're starting. Alright. So at this point, I hit OK, I let everybody land, let everything get their shit out. Boom, 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 and then I pause it. Alright, and then I do home. Well, actually there's a command, I think. Tab gets you to this toolbar here. Alright, escape gets you to this menu. So tab, and then orders. And forbid, allow. So I used to have a mod where I'd hit the home key, and everything would be allowed. So I want all this stuff allowed. Because right now this is not allowed, which is dumb. So I'm gonna do, and unfortunately, fuck, it takes you back, you dudes, like, bro, F. It's so aggravating. But you don't have to do that. Anyway, we do want to do these though. The actual resources. Allow. Alright. Allow. So the first thing I'm going to do now is figure out which guy is my best guy for shooting. So Tom. Alright, so what I'm going to do with Tom is I'm going to put him to grab this. Alright, right? I'm going to do just click it, and that's going to be the first thing he does. Now we have Phoebe, who's the melee guy. This is the melee guy. So the first thing he's going to do is equip the knife. And then we're going to give him all the shit. We're going to make him wear the helmet and the flak pants and the flak vest, because he's going to be our first dude who runs in there and starts kicking shit. And then Lucky can just take the revolver. Alright, so Shift piles up the commands. So now they're all going to do that. Now we want them to haul things back, right? But we can't haul things back because there's no back. We haven't determined where we're going to settle. So generally what I would do is go over here. I think right over here is what I would do. And I have a little thing that I do. Orders, plan. So I go, how far here? Just like, that's good. And it's 18 by 17, but I can't remember which direction is which, so we'll do it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to make our home, and I might have to redo it. So each room is going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3, and this goes to 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is actually good, so I did it right. Alright, so what I'm making is 2 big rooms over here. There's a 2 space, right? This should be 7. And there's 2 space. And then 3, 3, and this is going to be a door. That's going to be a door. This is going to be a room. It's a room. So this is just a good way to start, in my opinion. Alright, so doorway, 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 doorway. So this will be like our... I should make this opposite though. I am going to. Hold on. I'm going to switch it and put the bedrooms in the back and the production here. So instead this goes here. Door, 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 door. Bedroom, bedroom, bedroom. Initial storage. And then let's say this room will be food production, and this would be the dining room. And this is just a hallway. And the hallway is good because it allows us to regulate the temperature. So, for example, first I have to do zones. We have to do a stockpile zone, and we have to do, let's say this is the kitchen area. So we'll do this whole area. Okay, then we click on this and we tell it what we want in this area. So clear all. We don't want rotten. This is going to be foods. So it's going to be like raw food kind of shit. Yeah, essentially raw food and animal corpses go in here. Okay, and then we make another zone. Well, we can make a stockpile zone over here. And this is pretty big, but we're going to make this like clear all, no rotten. We'll make meals will go there. If we have chocolate, if we have pemmican. Manufacturing, we'll put any drugs that we get there because drugs are good, and medicine. Okay, and then plant matter I would put here, and this, I mean, it doesn't mean anything immediately, but later on there's plant matter that can go, and this is going to be cooled later, so that's why we put that there. And also one more thing, wort is under manufactured, and that's how you make beer. So all these things something go there, and then what we do is the rest, essentially. We make another zone. Storage, clear all, no rotten. And this will be like almost everything, like manufactured items, weapons, apparel, buildings, um, and some of these resources, like not plant matter or stone blocks, but like more precious things that you might use in manufacturing: gold and jade, plasteel, silver, and uranium. The other steel and wood we'll keep in another place, and I'll show you how to do that first to really maximize the guy's movements around. So this is just pretty much a catch-all for mostly everything else. And manufactured everything but medicine and rugs, because we're already putting that here. Okay, so now we have our zones, but there's some more zones we need to make, and these are efficiency zones, essentially. So I'm going to make one here, and I'm going to make one, put it by the doors, but also just over here. This is fully temporary, just for the construction of this area, and over here. And this is going to be for clear all. It's going to be for raw resources, steel and wood, and stone blocks. Okay, and then we take this, we copy the settings, and we put it here and here. Okay, the only thing we need now is like a junk pile. Like, where are we going to put all of the rocks that are in the way? Not that there are any, but like shit like this and shit like this. So we have to put a zone for that. This is our dwelling. We might want to expand it over here for the second one, and a third one over here if it gets bigger, or for storage, something like that. So the rocks, where do the rocks go? Don't want it too far. It doesn't have to be far. Let's just put it stockpile zone. Actually, do a dumping stockpile zone. And I like to do 1, 2, 3 as a hallway, or like a road, and then that's the wall. 1, 2, 3 wall, and now we start the zone inside the wall, and we can just go like this, and we can go back as far as we want, because this is going to be temporary anyway until the walls build. So this includes we don't want mech corpses because they're valuable later. Mech corpses we could put here because you can break them down and they become valuable. But in here, we don't want animal corpses at all. We don't want human corpses. This we just want chunks. And chunks is stone chunks and steel slag. Right. And now what you do is, now we're going to look around the area, just this sort of here at this point, and just do haul. And when you guys have nothing to do, they'll start hauling this bullshit around. So you take all the rocks that you have around the general area and do haul, and that'll start filling this up. And that's good for later. Okay, so that's some functions for them to do. The other function you want to do is you want your plant dude to be doing all the trees. You don't want your construction guy who has 0 plants to start putting up a wall, stop here and go, fuck, now he's got to cut down a tree. He's got a 0 skill. It's going to take him a full minute to cut down the tree. Meanwhile, a minute is like 2 hours. So, you know, you don't want to do that. So what I like to do is isolate all the trees. Unfortunately, I don't have my mods on. I have some cool mods that allow me to select these trees a little bit easier. But, let's see. Yeah. Alright, right clicking is not doing anything. Usually there's options. So, essentially what you want to do is tell your dude to chop all the trees down that are in the way. You want to tag these all to be chopped because... Alright, so let's say we did that. We did all that, and well, let's just do it, right? And you also want to cut it, like, if it's either chop or it's cut, you just want this shit out. You want all the trees and all the plants to be designated as cut, okay? So boom, there you are. And we can double check that with this. Orders, chop wood. You can just go like that, and it will get everything. Okay, we're going to give it a little bit of extra wood because you guy needs wood also. And you want to do this for plants that are trees but won't get designated. For example, this here, it's a tree, but it's a cut plant. So if this tree, anyway, you definitely want that. All right, so we got our boys now. We got something for them to do. So now let's take Tom, who all we've done is tell him to take the gun. Let's have him haul. We're gonna do shift and prioritize hauling survival meal. Okay, it's gonna give him something to do now. He's gonna do this and he's gonna go back. This guy is a guy, we've got him running around in circles here. Let's also now have him, we do shift and we'll have him prioritizing to haul. So giving him a path, things to do. Lucky, all he's doing is doing this gun. We'll have him go back and get this components, because if we leave the components out for too long, they will degrade. All right, so at that point, we can almost let them go. We've got one job for, now we have to do jobs. Okay, now we have to set priorities. You want to get it off of this check mark thing, and we can do that with that. All right, and we have each guy, and it shows their skill of what they're good at. Okay, but we want these guys to do specific things. And now when I look at the guys first, I look at who's the construction guy, and I make sure he's in the front. Then there is a plant guy, right? One of these guys does some plants. So here's the plant guy. We put him second. Right, we can right click and move him over. So I just do that so I know who's who. Construction, plants, and then like this guy doesn't have anything to offer as far as what we need right now. What we need is somebody to cut a bunch of wood and somebody to put up this shit. Okay? So Tom is going to put up this shit. Lucky is going to chop all the trees around him to keep getting wood for us. And Phoebe is not really going to do shit, but Phoebe is going to do a lot of shit. Okay? Because Phoebe has a lot of shit to do. All this stuff needs to go back. All this wood needs to go back. Alright, so that's what you have to find. You have to find all these resources that have X's around. Like there's going to be some meals around there, going to be yellow. So around the edge of the map somewhere, or there's going to be some steel with an X through it. So you have to find that shit. It's not important to do it immediately, but it's important to know that they're there. And you might as well take it at some point, because I'm telling you, they're there. So here's some steel that for some reason is over here. We can allow that. And just by allowing it means that our dude, if he's set to haul, he's going to go haul all that shit. Alright, so we have jobs for pretty much everybody. Okay, but now we have to actually make them do their jobs. So the first thing to do is hold shift and click, and it's going to make everybody a 1 on firefight. So that first priority is to fight fires. And then patient, you want them, everybody to be a patient. This guy is the only guy who will heal, so put him on a 1. Bed rest, everybody, you can do the shift and put them all on 1, but there are times when maybe you don't want the guy who's just sitting out because he has the flu. That's not going to kill him. You can put him to a 2 or a 3, so he starts at least like feeding everybody, and then he can go back to sleep if you set it up right. Basic, you want everybody to do basic shit. That means like flicking switches or turning something else. Warden, we have absolutely nobody who has good social skills, but this is the only guy who will do it. So he's our man. Handle, this is dogs. I mean, this is like the animals that are around the map that if we want to tame. Each one of these animals, when you go into this information here, will tell you what skill you need in order to tame it. And also you want to look at if you absolutely want to tame some of the shit, like how you can train them. Trainability advanced means that they will haul shit for you. Meaning like if you have berries out here that were picked that are sitting on the ground. One of your fucking huskies will go out there, grab that, and go pop it into your inventory. It's beautiful. But that's pretty advanced. All right. So, handling. Handling we don't worry about right now. Cooking, we put this as a 2 or a 1. I mean, you can abuse the shit out of 1 and everything it becomes a 1. So you can just start with a 2. These things go up to 4. 4. So hunt, you want this also pretty high. Construct, we want Tom on a 1. Okay? We don't want this guy. We could put him on a 4, but he's not never really gonna construct because he's gonna be growing and planting. So the key here is plant cut, okay, at this moment. Now, even though this is a 2, we haven't set a grow function, like an actual task, so it doesn't matter if this is the same or even if this was a 1. There's no task, so he's only going to plant cut. And that's what we need. We need plant cut for sure. Art, who cares? Training, who cares? Right now, everybody has a function. This guy here, what is he going to do? He's going to cook for us when we ask him to. And he's going to cook out a 1 because, right? And that's really the same thing with 1 on hunting. Once you say, I want something killed, you want your dude to go out and kill it. Because if you are consciously doing something, it means that you're too late in doing it. You weren't planning. So you want him to do it now. You don't want fucking this to be that and him to be pounding on his fucking making the wall when you're saying, feed my dudes, we're dying. So you want to put hunting at a 1 and cooking always at a 1. We can put this guy on. This is our shitty guy. He's essentially a hauler. We could put him as on the construct as a 4 because maybe he'll bring some wood to the actual whatever. We can put the research at a 2. It doesn't matter. We don't have a research job, but hauling right now, we want him hauling. He's gonna go and find all this shit. He's gonna bring it back to where it goes while everybody else does the important stuff. Okay, so now that we have this done, the next thing that I would typically do, because I'm really fucking anal, what's going to happen is your guys are going to get hungry before you have a chance to feed them, like realistically. So what I do is I make the first task. So here we are, your architect. We want structure and we want walls. At first we do want walls, but I don't want walls now. First thing I'm going to do is furniture, right? Because your people are little bitches, right? They have moods. So, and they're in the needs. They tell you why they're upset. This guy's in pain because he's like, he's got some sort of a health issue. His left foot, he's got a painful bite scar. I mean, like I generally would have cleared that, but that's the case. So he's going to be upset just over nothing. Like he starts with being upset. But they get upset for reasons like they had to eat their meal not at a table. They get upset about that. And then you're carrying around a -4 all day, which who knows what else could happen, but why carry around a -4? So what I like to do immediately is have him produce a table and chairs for them to eat on. So we just take the 3x3. Actually, that's kind of big. We'll take the 2x2 over here. Right here. Okay, and we get some stools. 2, 3. Okay, because there's only 3 dudes. Now I have some mod on there that I can actually have him keep making it until he makes an excellent table. Alright, but I don't want that now. I want him just to make a table. So I'm turning off the quality builder. So he's going to make that first. That's the first thing he's going to do. As soon as he finds some wood, he's going to make this. And that's great. So that's what we want. And did I tell this guy to bring... He should be bringing the wood back, actually. Which one? Lucky? Alright, Lucky, I'm going to cancel. Clear his thing. I'm going to make him do the gun first. And then I'm going to have him bring some wood back. We'll take the furthest wood. Oh wait, no. Wait a minute. Lucky? Our dude who can't do anything. He can't haul. Wait, didn't I just tell him to haul this though? Oh, he'll never haul. So this is already broken. So anyway, let's just pretend that all this is gonna happen. I mean, this is already just so broken, right? That the one guy that I have who can do hauling, or I want to do hauling, actually won't do hauling. So this guy is doing his shit. He's getting closed. He's gonna go pick up that thing, and then he's gonna pick up all of the shit. I don't know. This guy is over there chopping wood. This guy, because I put the table right on top of the thing, he's being forced to cut that tree. So it's taking him time. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to get started on anything anyway. So this guy did get the medicine, even though... So he's hauling, even though I can't tell him to haul. That's interesting. Is it true? Is it true that he's hauling, but I can't tell him to haul? Wait, he's hauling. Who is that? That's Phoebe. Oh, Lucky. Oh, I was trying to tell Lucky to do hauling, and he doesn't haul. Alright, so let's just let Phoebe. We'll tell him actually to go here, because that dude needs some wood. Might as well prioritize some shit. Alright, so, now that he's got this done, like, ordinarily, I would be so, like, aggressive in making sure that they don't eat on this fucking ground or whatever, that I go in here. And first you always want to do this, is change this to simple, because they're just fucking pawns, you know? And then I would ordinarily immediately edit this so that they couldn't have, well, they can't have survival meals anyway. You want to turn that on then, or else they'll starve to death. But yeah, I would turn that off until he definitely made the table. Otherwise, these idiots will, you know, they'll get debuffed just because this guy, you know, they ate when they shouldn't have. Alright, so the dog, we have a dog, and he just nuzzled somebody. So that guy's gonna have, who is it? Tom. Tom is gonna have a good mood now. Because he was nuzzled. So he gets +4. He's soaking wet for some reason. I don't know why. They might be walking through here to get all the shit. So at some point you want to put a bridge there. Otherwise, every time he walks back, he's going to be annoyed that he's wet. Let's see if he's wet now. Yeah, he's soaking wet. He's got to walk through the water. So yeah, these are all the stupid moods you have to deal with. Alright, so he's still, the other guy is still looking for wood. Tom is getting his own wood so he can make all this shit. This guy is bringing the wood back and putting it into one of these little piles that we have for the wood. Okay, now we have at least the 3 chairs. So Tom is out of things to do, so I would pause it now. And now we can start doing the walls. You don't want to give him too much shit to do, or else he does it in any order, let's say. So let's say that the most important rooms to get are the bedrooms. And this room as well, because it's a storage for a bunch of shit, but we don't quite need that at the exact moment. So if you can get this stuff done, let's allow that so we can move it out, because it's in the way. So Tom was hauling only because he had nothing to do. Tom's gonna drop that, get some wood, and start doing the walls. He's gonna put it down first in the storage spot. So dumb. So Phoebe's gonna start hauling all this shit and putting it in the spots so that this guy can start doing it. And what I could do now, actually, is I could leave him. He'll just keep hauling. Once he runs out of actual things to haul, he'll start hauling the wood into the frames. So we need to give Lucky some more trees to chop soon. So we can go to orders, chop wood, and I like to just keep it tight, this area. So this guy's going to be busy for a while. Tom is making the walls. So the time right now, we're doing really well on the time. It's only 10 in the morning. We're getting the bedrooms up because this guy's pretty good at construction, dude. Once he gets all 4 walls and a door, he'll put it in rooms. You look at it, you can see what is roofed and what is not roofed by hitting this thing here. So we want to get more wood. So feed, I'm going to tell him to get more wood after he does whatever he's doing. So you can speed it up a bit when you know that it's just doing a bunch of shooters. We're hitting the number of the keyboard 2, 3, which is super fast, but we don't want to do that. I like the first day to go really, really smoothly, so I really focus on micromanaging on the first day, because I want him to get these walls done, this done, and I want to be able to, maybe he can make beds. I think he's going to have enough time to make beds too, but it looks like he's going to take them. They're all going to take a break at some point when this recreation gets down below a certain spot. So what we're going to do is give them something to help them get their recreation up. So I'm going to make a horseshoe, and I'm going to do it outside one of these doors. So they're going to like, so this area that is above the middle part is where they stand. All those 4 points is where they stand. So I'll put this here. So the guy's going to stand here. Okay, and I'm going to have Tom make this immediately because everybody's ready for some recreation soon. And they're going to start walking off. It's better to have them doing this because it makes their rec go faster. If they walk around staring at the sun, then it takes a while because they have different ways sorting that out. And that's kind of important. They have to have rec. So Tom is making the shit. He's just about done. So I'm gonna have him make some beds. Now I like to we can do single beds. It's fine. I like to make double beds though. This is set to make a good bed, but let's make any kind of bed you can make so that you're done making a bed. So he's cleaning up his area, and then he's going to go eat. That's the one, there's one mod I have on, it's called like, Common Sense. And what they do is they clean their rooms before they go to bed, because if they have a dirty bedroom, they get upset. So these little tools, these little mods that you put on just help bullshit from happening. So this guy right now is just meditating. He's staring at the bush. So like if you look at him, his information, his meditation focus type is artistic. What's he looking at? I don't know what he's looking at, but he's meditating at something. And it's okay because his recreation is going up. So that's why I like him to do like this, it goes faster. These guys are he's flirting. Rebuffed. So now he's upset because he just got rebuffed. So yeah, this is the kind of shit you deal with. It's kind of interesting. Dog we don't have to worry about. It's, what is it, a husky? That's a good pet to have. If it's tameable. So yeah, so when you do this, put this on Hall. And then at some point, we'll tell one of our dudes with the work to handle. But we don't have anything to give him. So we can do this anyway. He's our best dude. We could put it on it too, it's fine, and then at some point, if we have something to feed him with, then he will. So these guys are chatting, they're bonding pretty well. Feed. He's friends with both of these guys. See, he just made more friends because they have like deep talk. So it's good when everybody's friendly. So Tom is still making the beds slowly because the fucking resources are like everywhere. He's gotta run around in circles. So it's right now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's making beds. Good time. Got just enough wood for what we need to do. He's just putting all the wood there. He's gonna start hammering away. Preferably you want to get like good beds. This is a good bed. What it does is it gives you like benefits for comfort. So he sleeps less in a good bed. Chopped stump. It stumps me. So yeah, excellent time. It's good to get the beds and this done before lights out. So everybody has a bed. This guy, so Lucky is out of wood chopping, so we don't really want Lucky doing construction. Because his construction is 6, this guy's is 8, so he's more than likely gonna make a better bed. So what Lucky can do is start planting some food. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a zone and a growing zone. And I'm just going to do it right here in the green. The green means that it's the high fertility soil. So we just do that. And I'll make that rice. We'll start off with rice because rice has a faster growing time. And then you want to move into potatoes because potato has a better yield ultimately. Over time, I figured that out. So Lucky now, what I'm going to do is cancel, draft him and undraft him, and he's going to do a different task now. So Tom, poor Tom. So Tom has nothing to do right now. Okay. So there's still enough wood here. We can make the storage area for the shibida-boobida stuff, and then we could probably make this, maybe. So I can make a structure. We have enough wood floating around. So we can do this. This is one of our storage areas. So we want to put like our lettuce. Well, we actually should put the medicine in there instead of having it sit out in the open, because I don't know if we get to this today. Probably not. So yeah, I don't know why he started hauling, because like he still didn't finish this. But for some reason he decided he wanted to haul first. Even though Tom is not even, he's on a 3 haul, 1 construct, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess hauling was the next thing to do. I don't know why he wouldn't finish the bed. So get a pour bed, and a pour bed from the 8 construction guy, that's what we said. And I need a door. He's still hauling. Once he gets these rocks all moved over here, he's going to start going out and getting the steel. I mean, this stuff still should be good. This is deteriorating. That's fine. This stuff needs to be moved. So, feed. So I'm going to do a shift. And then he'll do whatever he's doing now. Finish that up. So he's hauling. He's putting this stuff in. Now this stuff won't deteriorate anymore, because it's under the roof that he's putting. Alright, so Tom has done a good job. But still, we might as well keep going. What's the key to doing it? Is to do it So what's going to ultimately happen is this is going to be also walled off, and then this is going to be a wall, this is going to be a door, this will be a wall, this will be a door, so this is all fully contained. And then what I do is I put vents, temperature, I put vents here. This is ultimately going to be a bedroom, so I put it there as well. Right here, and then I put a cooler here to maintain the temperature throughout, and I put a heater in here as well, so that when it gets cold. And then in here we do coolers. We put 2 of them in here. I mean, we can do it now, but it doesn't pay. We can do it over walls. But that's the move. In fact, we're going to do this now because there's no reason to. I don't want him to get sidetracked. But what that does is instead of, it allows each of these rooms to have a normal temperature. The temperature is more normalized here without having to put equipment in here. Just with the vents, we maintain the temperature in this hallway and it pushes out into the rooms. So where's Phoebe? Is he getting our components? Food? Yes. It's also slow, but they're almost done. At 2200 they go to sleep. But everybody's pretty happy. We got beds. The components were good received. Yeah, it deteriorated a little bit, but it doesn't even matter. I think at the end so we go first, just trying to fall asleep, he's going to sleep. Alright, so then what we can do, now that they're going to be sleeping in a second, everybody's done a pretty good job. We've got beds and a roof over their head. We have even their eating area is walled off with a roof. So we couldn't have had a better start for this first day. This is a perfect first day. Haha, he went to go clean up to sleep there. And this guy is just like, nope. This guy, he's gonna have a, he's just putting it in his inventory. So they all want to carry one of these foods. Everybody has to have a food in their inventory. Alright, so now they're done. They're going to sleep. You can think about what to do next. We definitely want them to start doing the wall, the rest of the wall. So, we're going to do this. Might as well have them do this too. The reason we want this all contained because at some point there's going to be a situation, and that situation makes us want to hide inside here where whatever's going on stays going on out there. So it's pretty self-contained. You know, you're going to build it out by putting like a research bench in here. There's going to be the food processing over here with we do that in production. There's going to be a butcher table here. There's going to be an electric stove over here, and that's why all the food goes in here for processing. We'll put a research bench here. Okay. And this means that like if some shit goes down out here, we're going to be contained. We're going to be inside. Everybody's going to be inside. So one thing I like to do, I mean, at this point, though, we want to set their schedules. Okay, so what I like to do is anything for the first hour when they wake up, and then work 5, and then a break, like a recreation break for 3, work, another 5, and then whatever they want for 2. And then copy, paste. So now everybody's on the schedule, and everybody's gonna do stuff and rest when they need to, and all you have to do is really set the tasks. So I'm looking around just here, and I automatically just click on all of these. I double click and I say harvest. That's just food. That's just free food we have. Now who's our hunter? It's Tom. Okay, so Tom is going to be done with this construction soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look in the animals, the wildlife here. And the ones you want to avoid are the ones that have percentages near where I would say this is like they're going to fuck you up. 10% chance they're going to try to fuck you up. So at this point, let's avoid all of the guys who are going to fuck us up, and let's go after, say, the deer, right? So I can mark a doe to hunt. But let's look at the doe. Is it relatively close? It's relatively close. So yeah, we can mark one of these dudes just to be hunted. Alright, and then when you actually want him to go hunt, we'll put this at a 2 because we want him to do the construction first. We don't even have the food processing up. So we'll have him do the construction until he's out of construction. And we'll keep feeding him construction. First we want him to do the walls. Then we'll do production facilities for food. We'll get a research bench. And then maybe some, what I would do is some security. I would put up some spike traps on the corners here. Like I would put one here and one here. This way what happens and on each corner I would do the same thing. And what happens is if, let's say, there's some dude coming after you or some fucking wild animal goes crazy and you can't get your dudes inside to run from the wild animal, and maybe you don't necessarily want to fight this guy because you don't have any shit, so you just keep running your guys away, avoiding this, and you run him into this, and then he either gets wounded, and then you capture him, and then maybe he becomes your colonist later, or he dies. But what he doesn't do is hurt your boys. Okay, so we can put this on a 3. They're ready to eat. So there's not enough food here. There's more food around here that we have to find. So it's really fucking annoying that all of these aren't just like... Alright, so I double clicked and every one of them on the map. So, yeah, there's 44 somewhere. Oh, they're here. So these need to be hauled, so we need Phoebe to haul all this shit here. So we'll shift it, let him finish what he's doing now, and then queued up is the, is this. So Tom is doing his thing. He's putting a roof here. He did the inside. He's doing the wall. We're on a 2-speed, so everything's going a little bit faster. Alright, so Tom is now officially finished. And he's hauling. So he's not even hunting first, which is unusual. Why isn't Tom hunting first? He's immediately going to... What? Oh, he's going to do some steel thing, I feel like. No, he's not doing anything. But he should go hunt immediately, based on what he said. Whether I want him to hunt or not is another thing. No, he's hauling. I don't understand why he's hauling. Tom. Construct. Hunt. Mine. Train. Haul is 4. So why can't he hunt? Let's see. Alright, so Lucky has nothing to do. Anyway. This is the basic start, what I would do. Then the next move I would say would be, we gotta put in, we're gonna put an electric stove. Like there's a whole process to the food thing, so we definitely need to get a wooden butcher table. I would never put a steel butcher table. Okay. And then an electric stove, okay, but with the electric stove comes the need for electricity. So the electricity comes with power. let's start with a wood fire generator first. Okay, and I like to put it like over here, and then take this, and this is going to be actually the zone that I used to hold a lot of the bullshit stockpile stuff. So here we do that, and then we're going to do a power conduit just all around. Alright, so I don't need this yet. We need the power first. Okay, so Tom's got some things to do. Let's just interrupt him. And do we have steel in inventory? We do. So now he's going to start making this. I think. Or he's going to go get another giant thing of steel over here. He's hauling all the steel first. Okay, here he goes. And what did we say Lucky's doing? Lucky is... Alright, so Lucky got some fruit, and it's actually going to train the dog to do hauling. And is it successful? He's going to try again. Alright, so he needs to train him 6 more times. Okay. And now we're saying to ourselves, do we really want the dog in there with all the food? And I would say probably not. So I'm going to do a zone, and I'm going to expand allowed area. I'm going to manage areas. Okay, I'm going to add an area and another area. And this is, I'm going to invert this. And I'm going to invert this. This one, hold on. Manage areas. This area, I'm going to rename this one to hauling animals. Rename this one to wild animals. And rename this to safe. Okay. So now I'm going to clear allowed areas and hauling. And I'm going to just not allow him into the bedrooms and the food process. Any of these inside places like that, we don't really need the dog in there. Till he learns how to haul. I don't want him eating this or this. Okay, and I also don't want him around the exact area where I'm going to put traps. Now later on it's going to change. I would change it. And I'm going to give him a little furniture because I'm this guy. Not really furniture, just an animal sleeping spot. He can sleep right there. Okay. Alright, so now the dog can't get into bad places and fuck us up, so that's fine. This guy he did this, he did that, so we almost have power everywhere. As soon as he finishes doing that, we'll have power. Okay, so we can do power, we can look at it now. If we click here, power, and it shows us the power that we have. So I don't know, there's some furniture that I like, but I didn't include. Oh, I do have wall lights. This is a mod. So then I do this, then this, 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 this. It's not very pretty. Actually, I will sort it out, make it look pretty. Okay, and then we'll do some hallway lighting here. Now it'll go, I think, 6 away before it doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Alright, So Lucky has no tasks. So we could use more tree cutting for sure. Because our wood supply is low. So I'm just going to take a swath and let him go at it. So Phoebe is just hauling like a retard. But we can have him do different things later. Like later on, we can have him take these stone and make them into stone blocks. But we'll let Tom finish the construction projects we have going now. There's another project we need to add, and it doesn't matter when he does it. The electric stove. This is good. It makes everybody feel really good. So let's say Tom has knees with the psychic soothe, so he's happy. His mood is good. It's only getting better. So Tom is working hard. Everybody's got this mood all the way up here. It's looking really good. Phoebe's in pain, I believe. So he's got a problem. Alright, so on the map came rare thrombos. Now, for us now, this is like, it doesn't help us. But later on, you can hunt these. And you can make dusters out of the fur. And it's like wearing armor. So, Thrumbo fur is really super strong. But we don't have anything to kill anything with. All we have is Tom, essentially. And what is Tom doing? I think we might be lacking steel. I think he's running around grabbing steel. And that's the problem with this map. There's steel that's like out somewhere. I don't know where it is. Like here's some steel. I just saw it. Yeah, I don't know where it is now. But I just saw some here. Like, that shit shouldn't be just fucking random on the map and like... So I guess I could do this, right? Let's get a hold of that. And just do the whole map. Shit, I can't see it there. So the whole map. Do that, and then do allow. So that means that this guy at some point will grab all the... Once he's finished with the hauling the rocks around, he'll get all the steel in place. But we had a lot of rocks for him to move. He's almost done. So day 2, pretty good. We got some power. And we got the lights. Some of the lights are in now. And like I said, this is a mod. Look like Freeb did he did that, didn't he? He turned on one of those lights. I know he did. Tom's gonna go to sleep. He's like, fuck this shit. Alright, so there it is. These guys aren't hostile. But if you can kill them, they're so good. So like a lot of times what I would do, see in the scenario too, you have all these things. Now these things are bad if one of them explodes and it starts like a forest fire, and then all you do, then the fire gets even closer to your place. So what I usually do is once it starts to rain, I send out all my dudes to kill them all. So when it rains, like they explode, it's a contained in, I mean, this is crazy how contained it can be. But what also you get is a lot of meat, and you can take this meat and like we could do, let's pretend that we're gonna go somewhere. Where is it? So, the world. Let's pretend we killed a bunch of buffalo, and now we want to send them, we want to like sell it to this dude, right? So we click here, we do form a caravan, and where do we want it to go? There. Okay, you right click to get there, and then we say accept. And then we get to pick the dude who's gonna go. Let's say it's this dude, and let's say that we had a couple of alpaca or something tamed, and they can come with us. We would select them, and then we would say what items we want to take with us. We would take all the meat, right? But That might even be in here. We would take all this shit, and we would try to take enough food that would take us, so like have us survive. So we'd take an extra couple meals, and then you'd say send, and then all these dudes would run around like idiots getting the shit together, and then two guys would split off, and then they'd see them traveling on the map. They'd get there. You'd open up the trade window, show them your meat, and then they go, holy shit, and start sucking it. So that's what happens. So here, we're pretty good. Once he finishes this and this, what we do is we go into the properties of this, and we say that we want you to make so many meals. Boom. We go into here, and we say we want you to butcher, butcher animals anytime. So anytime there's an animal to be butchered, somebody's going to take it, bring it here, butcher it, drop the food down. Guy who's cooking here is going to take that food and he's going to make a meal out of it. And then he's going to drop it either here or here. But now that we're at this point, once he gets this stuff done, we also want him to do some temperature here. We want to cool this area. So I do 2 coolers. And then he's going to wake up, he's going to do all this shit if we have enough steel. But unfortunately the steel's not anywhere near us, so he's going to have to go run out and get it. We can have Phoebe immediately, like before he wakes up, we can just have him, we'll right click, and we'll say shift, so he can sleep, and then when he wakes up, the first thing he'll do is haul some steel. So he'll haul, this guy will eat, by the time he gets back, he'll be ready to start making all this shit that takes... He doesn't really need a lot of steel. This takes 180, but he is going to need that haul that this guy's going to bring back. What's he doing? Go for a walk. Nice. This guy's playing horseshoes. He's dumb. See, when they play horseshoes, it's faster. When they go for walks, it takes a while. But at least he walked over where the steel was, so he picked up the steel. So an animal just died on the map somewhere. A lot of times you can look around and look for the red, because when an animal gets killed, it gets disallowed. But if you can find it and you can click on it and do allow, and then your dudes will go and bring that shit back and butcher. But I don't know where it is. But I definitely heard the squeal. It could have been the bear that killed something and then just ate the whole thing. Alright, so he's almost done with this. So we can stop this. There's enough power for this, but there's not much more power. We only have 110 watts left. So this stuff I'm gonna change now. And I'm gonna make it 24 degrees. And I could have done both at the same time. Okay, so then we let it go for a little bit, and if we hover over here on the right side, it shows the temperature. Indoors, it keeps going lower and lower. If they keep leaving the door closed, it'll be fine, but it keeps walking in and out. So this is now 41, 39, 47, and this should be like 70. This is 70. Outside it's 76. Alright, so we're looking good. We don't quite have enough power to run the whole shibida-boobida, so we need to make more power. Okay, so making more power, we have to find a good spot. There's 2 ways to go too. If we look in the research here, I could research, where is it? There is a power, where is it? It's like, this power, water mill generator. You can go straight to that and research that, and then the water mill gives a decent amount of power. And since we have water, it's pretty good. But we don't have water power right now. But can make a wind turbine. And it's kind of big, it's kind of chunky, and what you don't want to really do is have it, where's it? Q flips it. So you don't want any trees in the way of in the areas here that are in the boxes. You don't want anything in the way. And you generally don't want a lot of area where there's going to be trees. So I'm trying to find the best area to do this. So this is the best, I think. Yeah, right here is good. I could even do it closer. Yeah, that's fine. And then the power conduit, take it from here and go there. I don't know if you can put one here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll get you there, I think. And then this is going to be the power that ultimately, because right now we don't have enough to power this. This thing takes 200 watts. We only have 130 left. Now if I turn this one off, designate toggle power, I'll have that. Lucky because he has nothing to do. Once he wakes up and stands there, he'll go here and he'll flick the switch because he has nothing to do. And then this one will turn on because now there's power. But, you know, whatever. Now the key here is to get your dudes to have something to do. So Lucky here has intellectual 8. He could also do hauling. There's no reason why he can't do hauling right now. So we can put his hauling at a 2. There's really nothing to haul. So let's make more projects. So production, we're going to do a stone cutter's table. We could put this right here or somewhere here. I want it in this room. So 1, 2, 3, wall here. I want it. Alright, we'll put it right here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put Lucky. Actually, let's just give him more wood to chop. We don't have enough wood for big projects. So we'll just say chop wood, and we'll go even wider. And we'll just have him do down here by that. And you know what, since all these animals are right here, I'm going to go into the wildlife thing, turn that off, and just turn one of these guys on. Hunt, and I'm going to have Tom right now hunt that by making construction go to 2. So the first thing he's going to do is hunt. Poorly. So if we really did have food in here that we wanted to keep cool, we could take this and do the power off on that. And then these two things would definitely kick in. That was not a good shot. Let's just speed him. Let's just paint him. Oh, we got one shot in there. Alright, so one of our dudes walked. Alright, so this is an ancient danger. So we could crack open these walls, and there's usually like good treasure in here. However, there's also a really bad motherfucker in there, or maybe a bunch of them. Or there could be like capsules with space marines in there that it will shoot our heads off. Alright, so we have food. Now what we need to do is, nobody's going to do anything with the food because we have to set bills up. So on a butcher table, you set 1 bill, and that is butcher creature, and you do forever. And details just do drop on floor, not take the best stockpile, just have them drop it on the floor. It's fine. Any worker, fine. Okay, and also you can set the range of how far you want them to go, but when it comes to animals, just leave it. as unlimited. And then we have food, cooking, bills here. So what I like to do is I like to do cook simple meal times 4, cook a simple meal. And we do this, do until you have X. Okay, this, do until you have X. Details, look everywhere is fine. This stuff is, we're gonna say do until we have how many? Let's see, these guys are gonna eat like 2 meals a day, times 3, so that's 6, so 10. So we can have 10, and that's fine. And he'll only start making food when he'll make 1 or so. Anyway, we're gonna leave it at that for now. And then this one here is the same thing. Here he's making, actually let's make this 8. Okay, and here, this one also we're gonna leave it at 8. Alright, and this one here, drop on floor. And ingredient range, you want to make this just around the area. You don't want them going all over the place. The same thing with this one. These are both the same. The only difference, the only reason you have 2, is you want them to do the efficiency of making 4, but you don't want them to not make anything if there's not enough to make 4. Okay, so he'll make 4, and if there's enough to make 2, he'll make 2, and then we're done. Alright, so there we're done with the food. So now, who is it? Lucky? No, now Phoebe is finally going to do something productive. He's going to eat, and then he's going to break this down, and he's going to cook this and make simple meals. But he's going to make first simple meals. Actually, I'm going to stop him. I don't want him using this. We have this. Let him cook that. This. I just got a text. Anyway, I don't want him to use this. I want him to train the dog on that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to change the bills to not use vegetables. Alright, because I want, since we don't have any kind of vegetables around, any kind of unique vegetables, I want to be able to train the dog with it. So we have to take this off of the whatever. Now he's going to break this down. So Boomalope, self-tamed. Okay, I mean that's a thing. That's fine. Now the problem when you do these things, when you tame animals, is that they change the way the game works now. Now you need to make a pen, a fence, right? Well, let's say this. Okay. And then you have to also do this thing, which is in the different spot, for some reason, a pen marker. You have to do that too. Alright, and then you have a pen. And now when the guy finally gets around to making that, your Boomaloaf will be kind of safe, because right now it says need a pen. Tame animals are roamers, so if this guy will roam away, whatever. But Boomaloafs are good because they actually give a thing. Like they give milk. But they don't actually give milk, they give you fuel. I forget what the fuel's called, but anyway. So this guy has a ton of jobs. This guy is doing his job. He just made the meat, and now he's going to cook 3 meals. And he's got enough to make 3 regular meals. After that. Okay, so now he's got 3 of those. He's going to make 1 of these one at a time. At this point, we want to change our assign to where we, in simple, we allowed the packaged survival meals. We don't want them to use it now. Now that we have simple meals for them to eat, we'll just let them eat that because we want to save these for when we go on like worldly excursions, and also when we just don't have any food left. this actual food can go there. So I'll put the package survivals there and take them out of here. In fact, I would take all the meals out of there. In fact, this one here, we can just get rid of this whole zone. Because we want the food in here so it stays cool, it doesn't go bad prematurely. Now, since I don't have most of my mods working, there are certain things that are a problem. Like, these things normally get stacked into one big stack of like 200. But since I don't have the mod in, it's making these little stacks. But that's going to be somebody's game who doesn't have the mod anyway. Alright, so we're looking good. We got that done. He's going to make the pen tomorrow, I assume. We have enough food, and to get food, all we have to do is click on one of these dudes, or just look around for what's near, and pick something out. Like we can take one of these. Alright, and we can decide when we want him to do it. We can do it now, and we'll have the extra food, or we can have him do the construction first. We'll do construction first. So, yeah, now we have this is set up, and we can make the bills here. What I like to do is make, just figure out what's on our turf. So, terrain. So it's sandstone, limestone, and granite. So, I do bills, granite, sandstone. What was the other one? Fuck, I'm so fucking stupid. I can't remember like 2 seconds ago. Wait, marble slate? Wait a second, that's the place. Sandstone, limestone, granite. Granite, sandstone, limestone, and then make any stone blocks. I'll put this at the top. Put this at the top. Alright, any stone blocks do forever. Details. Drop on floor, and we're using a radius here, and the radius is the place that our rocks are stored. We only want them to go here. Okay. And this is the first task. That's what we'll do. This one here. Drop on floor. Do forever. Do forever. Details. Drop on floor. Drop, radius, important. Radius important, because you only want them processing what you're telling here, because you don't want them doing it forever, only when there's rocks there to smash. Alright, so he's finished, alright, so we have it all set, right? That's, yeah. Alright, so he finished doing the pen. Then we have this guy and his pen. So the problem I have is feeding him. I don't really know a good way to feed him, because he's going to eat the grass, and then there's no grass when we have him stuck in the spot with no grass. So, it's a problem. So I'm just moving him in there so he opens the gate. I want all these other dudes to fucking get out of there if they can. these dudes. So Lucky, I still haven't given him jobs. So what we need now, Lucky has intellectual. He has really nothing to do. We don't really have a lot of projects going on. So I want to make a research bench, and we can put it in the corner over here. Wait, did I make that out of steel? No, it wouldn't. So this stockpile sucks because it's so far out of the way. I'm gonna do something stupid, so I don't have to do anything crazy. So this will start getting moved. His food's gonna be like, oh my god, what's happening? He's sleeping though. He's efficiently unloading inventory. So I need to make a bridge here because he keeps getting wet and he becomes unhappy, I think. Is he becoming happy? Slept in the cold, awful bedroom. He's not soaking wet this time, but he is a master of the dog, so he gets an extra bonus for that. So the dog itself. Handler. We won't touch anything. Alright, so did we do everything we need construction-wise? It looks like it. So now, how do I get them to do this? So lucky I can get to do either this or this. But let's first set a task, and let's actually go for what I was saying, the watermill. So Lucky should start to do this research. Yeah, and then we'll put Lucky on a crafting. So Lucky won't do research. Lucky's gonna run over here once he's finished with the hauling. He's gonna go over here and start making stone blocks. So this zone I don't want. I want the zones near the doors at least. For them to run all the way over here. I really need. So we've got this thing is working. There's nothing in the way. So now we have excess power output of like 1200 almost. And this is working. This area here is, if you look on the right, 26 degrees. Alright, so this is frozen once in a while. Right, and what is he? He's tamed 3. So he's almost to the point where you can haul stuff. It's gonna be beautiful. Alright, so Phoebe is still bringing rocks. Once he's finished bringing rocks back, this might be the last rock. There's one. So he's gonna start making stone blocks. Tom is home, so Tom doesn't have anything to do. What's Tom's other skills? Construction, mining, melee. We can have him. He should have shot that thing, did he? How many meals do we have? And the dog shouldn't be here. Oh, okay. So what I did not do, I made the zone, but I didn't tell the dog what zone he's allowed in. So he's gonna get out of this room as soon as he realizes he's in the wrong spot. Time for bed. Alright, so he milked the thing that we have here, and he got chem fuel, which we can use later. Alright, this guy is now researching. Tom's sleeping. Everybody has like a different little internal schedule. Alright, so it's looking pretty good. What's the next thing I would do? I'd probably get some wild animals, some like alpaca. So I would have somebody go and tame like 3 alpaca, and they can go in here and I don't know, figure out some food or make a couple of. That's the problem I have with the pens is the animals eventually starve to death because you can't make food. Because it's just like, what the fuck am I making food for an animal for when there's like grazing all over the place? Like, let's go. So, yes, the next thing I would do is defenses because we've been safe so far. Alright, so Calm will do that, and then we'll have some defense for the inevitable first raid. What is this? Silver. Silver. So I have a model so that makes different colors for the different resources. This is steel. Compact machinery, nice. Compact machinery makes components that you need for stuff like this. And this. So one thing you have to worry about is sometimes a tree will sprout in your blades area, and then like you'll have to cut the tree down, or else this will lose its effectiveness. Yeah, so that's a start. That's what I would do.